So that's us at number 16. So my number 16 is Mellon Collie and Infinite Sadness by the Smashing Pumpkins. Mellon Collie spelt like a melon, I
Like
think.
a melon, yeah.
Melloncollie. This was released on the 23rd of October 1985.
Am I right in saying this is a double album?
It is. It is. So I had it on CD. So the CD version was divided into two CDs. The first one was kind of entitled Dawn to Dusk, and the second was entitled Twilight to Starlight, and it contains some of the band's best known tracks. For example, like a Bullet with Butterfly Wings, 1979, which is a fairly well known track. Tonight Tonight, of course. For years I thought it contained, like before I bought the album, I was convinced that it contained Today. It does not. I thought if it's got Tonight Tonight in it, it must have Today on it, but it doesn't. Zero as well, which is another fairly well known Smashing Pumpkins track. But there's a lot of tracks on there that I don't think really get the recognition that they deserve, such as Bodies, for example, which is track number 16. I mean, there's quite a lot of tracks on there. I think there's 20 odd tracks, I believe. And this has kind of Billy Corgan, who's the kind of lead singer of Smashing Pumpkins, at his most nihilistic and kind of grungy. The lyrics to the kind of chorus or refrain are, love is suicide, and it just has this kind of driving, dirty, fuzzy guitar riff that you can't help but kind of bang your head along to. There's quite an interesting mix of kind of different sounds on this album. I mentioned Tonight Tonight. It's a well-known kind of Smashing Pumpkins song. That's a big orchestral number, and then that's juxtaposed to, a song like XYU, which is just frantic and frenzied. It sounds like Billy Corgan's actually having a mental breakdown. There's no other way to describe it. He's screaming and shouting, and it sounds so intense. He's just making these kind of guttural, frenzied sounds. And then you've got other songs like Stumbling, which is just a kind of stripped back, kind of acoustic sounding number. You've also got kind of Ode to No One, which has one of the best lyrics, or one of my favourite lyrics of all time. I don't know what it means, I just like the sound of it. And so the lyric is, I'll call my tongue round a bumblebee mouth. No idea what that means, but I just like how it sounds.
Yeah.
But again, that's just a really thrashy, grungy track. Like I said, it's kind of a healthy mix of kind of that stripped back acoustic tracks, grunge. I would say there's probably a bit of kind of metal in there as well. And then at the other end of the spectrum, you've got kind of the big orchestral numbers like Tonight Tonight, and just kind of what I've described as pieces of loveliness. I don't know how else to describe it. There's songs like Porcelain on there, Muzzle, also To Forgive, and of course the last track on the album, which is called Farewell and Good Night, which I used to play to my children when I was trying to get them off to sleep, because it's a lullaby.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it. It starts off with, you can like hear the lapping of kind of waves as they kind of touch the shore, and this kind of tinkling kind of piano. It's lovely, and like I can't describe it any other way than it being like a lullaby. So it's quite a broad album, and there's a bit of everything in there.
Smashing Pumpkins are a band I've never really gone in on that much, and I've heard a lot of singles and stuff, and generally quite like them. It's just not a band that I've ever bought an album of, or like, I'll shove on some Smashing Pumpkins. It just doesn't happen. But I do love Billy Corgan's vocals.
Yeah.
There's something about the way he sings that's just quite infectious, and it's quite weird as well.
Aye.
But yeah, a good band, but not a band I've really dove in on.
It's a band, I can't even remember how I really got into the Smashing Pumpkins. I think, to be honest, it was off the back of seeing the likes of Tonight Tonight, the video of that being played on the likes of P-Rock and Scuzz, which is an old music channel. And I think I somehow came into owning Rotten Apples, which I think is one of their greatest hits, and that kind of prompted me to kind of look into their other albums, in particular Mellon Collie and Infinite Sadness. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff on there, and I think, to be honest, I would have to say there'd be something for everybody on that album.
Yeah, There's been a couple of good Billy Corgan related memes in the last couple of years where somebody just decided that he looked like Taylor Swift and started a rumour that he was Taylor Swift's dad.
All right.
And that was a thing on the internet for quite a while. Just people posting pictures of Billy Corgan next to Taylor Swift. And there was another one which was Billy Corgan on a roller coaster.
I saw that.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's really good. That's 1979.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's just the roller coaster reaching the top, and then as it goes down, it kicks into the wee.
yeah. He's an odd man.
Yeah,
An odd man. He writes really good stuff. I think he'd be very difficult. I think he's kind of notorious for being difficult and kind of awkward. At that same Leeds Reading Festival, we saw him. I think they were one of the headlining acts, and I don't know if they're a band that are notorious for not doing encores.
Yeah.
Some bands
Some
just
bands
don't
just
do
don't do
encores.
them 'cause
It's just fair enough because they are kind of pointless. Because if it's a band that does encore, you know that they're going to do it. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I remember seeing them, and he was dressed almost like something out of a Tim Burton movie. He was wearing unusual footwear. I want to say that he was, I don't know, maybe I'm getting away with myself. I've got a feeling he was wearing almost like elf-like shoes. I think they were kind of like, they were curled at the end, would that be right? End or top?
Yeah.
And he was definitely wearing black and white striped tights. And I remember,
I've seen this, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen him.
That must just be a look that he goes for.
Rumpelstiltskin.
The old Rumpelstiltskin look.
I don't know, he does look a bit like Uncle Fester.
He does. Well, he's lost his hair, doesn't he? He lost his hair a long time ago. But yeah, I remember, I can't remember what song they finished with, but I think the rest of the band had left the stage. He was still on the stage with his guitar and was just kind of like prowling the stage, kind of looking menacingly out towards the crowd that had kind of assembled to watch them. In the midst of this kind of reverb and fuzz and stuff like that was all going on, obviously like some guitar or so one of the instruments had kind of been left on, and yeah, he never played his encore, but
it's just kind of good showmanship, is it?
I suppose it is. I suppose it was a wee bit unsettling, to be honest, but yeah, that doesn't detract from his body of work.
Yes. Okay. So, what's that? Mellon Collie and the Infinite Sadness?
Mellon Collie and the Infinite Sadness. Yeah, I would have to say that there'd be something for anybody. I mean, I think predominantly Smashing Pumpkins are thought of as being like an alt-rock or grunge band. But like I said, there's gems in there that I think people of all ages could enjoy.
Yeah, I think alt-rock and grunge are like terms that are so broad.
Yeah.
Because you look at grunge and like all these bands that are called grunge, most of them are totally different from one another. Or do what, so it's a very broad spectrum.